what does it mean to have your Mercury in the sign of Pisces in your birth chart? Watch this video where I'm going to explain everything you need to know about having this placement, including what your biggest communication struggle and what your biggest communication strength is going to be. Knowing your Mercury is so important because it is the planet of communication. And while often feared in the world of astrology because of its 2 to 3 times a year retrograde, it is extremely impactful and beneficial to know. It is nothing to be feared. So watch this video to understand what it means to have your Mercury in the sign of Pisces so that you can improve your communication and live life in alignment with your birth chart. Hello and welcome back to the Be the Hero channel. My name is Isabelle and I help you understand who you are using personality typing systems and astrology, because I was the kind of person who did not understand themselves, their behavior, or their desires, and I often felt confused and unfulfilled because of it. Then I discovered personality typing systems like the Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, and so much more, including astrology, and everything made sense, and I was finally able to live life in alignment with my desires easily. So today I'm here to teach you about what it means to have Mercury in the sign of Pisces so that you can understand your birth chart and actually apply the information of your chart so that you can live in alignment with your soul's unique energetic imprint and understand yourself and live a life of ease. Before I dive into what it means to have Mercury in the sign of Pisces, hit the link in the description below to grab my free birth chart workbook where I help you understand the basics of your chart and journal about them so that you can actually apply and live in alignment with your chart easily. You don't want to do what I did, where I, for so many years in astrology, just took in so much information about every single planet, every single placement, every asteroid, Chiron, all these things that I thought were going to make my life easier by reading about them, and I did never apply them at all. So the birth chart workbook helps you just understand the basics of your chart and how to apply them so you can live in alignment with your soul's unique energetic imprint. It takes about 15 minutes or even less to do the whole workbook. So grab the link, the birth chart workbook, and the link in the description below. Before I dive into what it means to have Mercury specifically in Pisces, what is Mercury in the first place? If you're new to astrology or if you've been in astrology for a long time, you know for a fact that the word Mercury gets thrown around often by the astrology community, usually because it's followed by this pesky little word, retrograde. And every single astrology girl and dude in astrology, whenever Mercury retrograde comes around, starts panicking and says, don't do anything, don't breathe wrong, don't move wrong, just hide in a cave until Mercury retrograde ends because you might die at any moment. Don't text your ex, don't fail at work, you might get fired if you do something wrong. And there's this huge fear stigma now around the planet of Mercury, when the reality is Mercury is simply the planet of communication and learning. And Mercury retrograde is simply a time of reflection on the way we learn and communicate. It is mindfulness at its essence. I love Mercury retrograde for this reason because it helped me practice mindfulness. Mercury itself is just the planet of communication. It shows how our minds work. Basically, to put it simply, the sign that Mercury is in, whether it's Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, that shows you what your perception tendency tends to be. Naturally, we've learned as human beings that people, surprisingly, can have such a different perspective than we do. They have completely different convictions and different beliefs, and this blows our minds. How did you notice that first? How can you believe that? How can you? I don't understand. And this is because there are 12 zodiac signs, and there are 12 different placements that Mercury can be in. So there are 12 different ways that people can tend to think. Mercury in Pisces will have a different perception tendency than the other 11 zodiac signs. So today I'm going to explain what it means to have Mercury in the sign of Pisces, including what your mental tendency is, what you tend to see first in the world, and how you tend to express this back to the world. Because Mercury is not just how we learn. It is not just how we think. It is not just how we perceive information. It's how we relay that information back to the world and how we express ourselves. Knowing your Mercury is highly impactful if you already know your moon, because your moon is your emotions, and your Mercury is going to tell you how you express that differently than your moon does. Because you might have a moon in Leo or Virgo or Scorpio, and that's different from Pisces. So how your emotions come out is different than maybe how you exactly feel. So what is the Pisces archetype? Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac and the final zodiac sign in the zodiac wheel before we start a new cycle with Aries. And in a way, it acts as the first because the Pisces represents a lot of being in the womb, so to say. Aries is where we first come out of the womb when we are born, so to say, whether we are Aries sons or not. And it represents that moment where we first have a sense of identity. Whoa, I'm in the world. There's so much to take in. There's so much excitement. I need to build some resiliency and charge head on because that's the only way to do it. Pisces is before we get to that point. It's the moment we are nurtured in the womb. It is in a way the first and last step all at once because the wheel of the zodiac is ongoing. Whenever we have a placement in Pisces, we become extremely empathetic, empathic even. We are highly intuitive, highly creative, and very connected to our minds. We might even be connected to the subconscious realm or to the fifth dimension, so to say. There's a lot of spirituality involved with the Pisces archetype. Whenever we have Pisces somewhere, we can be very intuitive people. Not in the sense, though, that we're very emotionally connected to ourselves, but we become very vulnerable. Hence why Pisces is connected to the state of life where we are in the womb. We are not exposed to the world yet. We are very vulnerable, but very connected to something much more meaningful, something much greater than ourselves. So when Mercury is in the sign of Pisces, Pisces themes obviously surface in our communication. People with a Mercury in Pisces tend to generally, whether it shows up physically or not, very creative and artistic, but they're also connected to the realm of intuition very easily. These are soft and sensitive peoples who are gentle and soft with their words. They can be very sensitive even to their environments because Pisces is such a gentle person. These people can easily be susceptible to their environment. I like to describe that whenever we have Pisces in a placement, we immediately become emotional little marshmallows. And whether we enjoy that or not is one thing. Pisces is always a hard placement, but beautiful placement to work with because it represents the side of us that is sensitive and easily harmed, but it also represents the most unconditionally loving side of ourselves. The side that is the most loving possible, caring possible, pure-minded as possible. So people who have a Mercury in Pisces have this very soft side to them. Depending on where Pisces, this Mercury in Pisces is in your chart, whatever house it's in, will change how seen this behavior is. But either way, people can sense in you that you have a very soft side, a side of you that just wants to be gentle and empathic and caring and kind, and you naturally want to live in this dream reality. People with a Mercury in Pisces are very much head in the clouds because they don't see life as fascinating on Earth as it is in their heads. So people with a Mercury in Pisces, if you are a Mercury in Pisces, you're going to notice that maybe in childhood, it was harder for you to keep up with the standard school system or do structured school work. Or maybe even now, as you're an adult, you find it hard for you to do tasks at work because you just want to move in a non-linear way. You want to learn in a non-linear way. And you have such an amazing imagination or creativity that you just want to spend time in your mind. You want to spend time in your creativity. Some people, this creativity manifests as art or poetry or something like that, but it doesn't always. It could just be imagination. It could be thinking about ideas. It could be daydreaming even. Because Pisces is a water sign, these are emotionally driven communicators. However, very different from how maybe Mercury in Cancer is an emotionally driven communicator. Whereas Mercury in Cancer knows exactly what they're feeling at all times, Mercury in Pisces is always aware of what everyone else is feeling at all times. So the biggest struggle that Mercury in Pisces is going to struggle with is going to come up a lot in their relationships in the sense that they know exactly what their partner is feeling. They're always listening to other people, always sharing a safe space for someone to vent, but to feel their own feelings and express their own feelings is a whole different story. They might even be blamed for, or even be told that they're hard to pin down to a belief. because Pisces is so emotionally driven. They don't give things a lot of rational thought most of the time. They're in their dream realm so much, they just want to feel harmonious and loving at all times, and they want to make sure that they're not harmed at all times. So holding themselves to one belief could keep them feeling rigid and stuck, when Pisces is a water archetype that wants to just be fluid at all times. So Mercury in Pisces, watch for your tendency to let everyone else share their emotions first, and notice when you're sponging up those feelings. Because Pisces has a hard time creating boundaries since they're so unconditionally loving, they can sponge up or absorb the negative moods of other people or even of the world around them. And this can make them feel very sensitive to the world and constantly having highs and lows. You might even get pinned down or be told that you're moody because you're sponging up the moods of the world around you so much that you can't even maintain your own emotional frequency. So it's really important for a Mercury in Pisces to make sure that they're offloading all that emotion that they're sponging up and connect with what they're feeling and spend time alone more often. Whenever we have Pisces somewhere in our chart, we also need a lot of alone time because we're so open and susceptible. So with Mercury in Pisces, you need a lot of time alone in your thoughts. And this isn't to mean that you don't need time for emotional expression. Everyone needs to express themselves and connect with other people. But spending time alone will help you balance that rhythm, balance that flow, and that roller coaster that you feel like you're on constantly with your emotions, because you're sponging up and absorbing the entire world's emotions and frequency. So Mercury in Pisces, you have an unconditional love, curiosity, and creativity that no one else has. No one quite feels as accepted as they do when they are around you. You are this safe space for everyone. When you allow yourself to connect with them, you make people feel heard, and you have an imagination that should 100% be utilized. But notice how that connection to this deeper realm also means an easy susceptibility to your immediate environment. And notice if people take advantage of you often. Who are you allowing to receive this unconditional love? Boundaries are probably the most important work that a Mercury in Pisces can do, because they are so loving and caring that people take advantage of them too easily. So connect with yourself, Mercury in Pisces. Write out the boundaries, write out who deserves your unconditional love and who doesn't. You might not need to give it to the coworker or to the grocery store manager or whoever's you're going adventuring with, but you might just need to make more time to give that to yourself. You're the person who's most deserving of your unconditional love. And again, use this creativity. This is your gift. Your unconditional love is a gift as well. Life can be extremely hard in this 3D world for the Mercury in Pisces, but in the end, you have something to offer that no one else can, which is your sensitivity, your creativity, your gentleness, your ability to feel and understand what other people are feeling with ease, and your gentle spirit. People with a Mercury in Pisces have a spirit that is amazing, unlike any other. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you understand what it means to have your Mercury in the sign of Pisces, leave a comment below and let me know. If you're struggling with something as a Mercury in Pisces, if you have a Mercury in Pisces friend or loved one and you're struggling with something with them, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to offer some advice and maybe help you out. I can't promise that I will do so well because I have a Mercury in Aries and my approach can be a little bit direct and blunt. This wraps up my series on Mercury through the signs, so if you missed one of the videos or are curious about another placement, go check out the videos on my channel for more on Mercury through the signs and so much more. I have video series on Moon, Venus, and so much more so that you can learn all about your birth chart on the Be the Hero channel. While you're down there leaving that comment below, be sure to grab the free birth chart workbook where I help you understand the basics of your chart using journal prompts. If you haven't grabbed it yet, grab the free birth chart workbook now. And if you're the kind of person who loves workbooks, you definitely want to grab the Making Mindfulness Fun bundle right now, where we have all 30 of our workbooks and courses on self-development, which includes Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, chakras, mindfulness, you name it, even astrology, for only $30. That's $1 per workbook and course. I have no idea how long I'm offering it for, so grab it now while you still can. if you are a Mercury in Pisces, or if you're someone who's struggling with communication with a loved one and you just want to have vibrant relationships where you feel harmonious at all times and you don't have these annoying, pesky little communication struggles that could be solved so much faster, you should join Be the Hero, our group membership, where Gabby, Robin, and I show up every single day to help you script the life you want to live, get clear on how to manifest that, and how to improve yourself so that you can have vibrant health, better relationships, and a purposeful career. So if you want to be surrounded by other people doing the self-development work, if you want to understand yourself better, and if you want access to exclusive webinars that will help you live in alignment with your highest self, Be the Hero Academy is for you. That's in the link in the description below, and you can join for 1 week free right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay tuned for more videos on astrology, Enneagram, and so much more. Let me know in the comments below if there's something you want to see next. Since I am wrapping up a series, I do have a moment to hear your input on what you want to hear next and film that next. Once again, my name is Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.